Warning: this documentary contains discussions, reenactments, and depictions related to sensitive topics, including suicide, gun violence, street life, bullying, family violence, and the use of graphic language. These elements are presented for raw and explicit educational purposes, aimed at providing enlightenment and edification, not to glorify or promote any of the behaviors or lifestyles depicted. Viewer discretion is advised. This documentary serves a dual purpose: to enlighten young people in the streets about the harsh reality that the penal system has no hesitation in sentencing a 13-year-old child to 50 years in prison, and to provide a raw and honest perspective to judges and prosecutors. It highlights how many children are coerced into the false beliefs of a destructive system with little to no protection from its effects. The film challenges society to acknowledge its role in shaping these outcomes and emphasizes the importance of showing sympathy, mercy, and love to children both before and after the courtroom. What if it were your child? This is not an attempt to embarrass the Michigan Department of Corrections or those in positions of authority. Instead, it is intended to enlighten and raise awareness for juveniles and those who may be impacted. The individuals who grew up in the same household as Eric, including his mother, have chosen not to participate in this documentary. While their perspectives are absent, this film remains a powerful reflection of Eric's journey, growth, and the lessons he has learned. This documentary aims to spark meaningful conversations about healing, accountability, and transformation. We hope it inspires viewers to reflect, understand, and engage with the story being shared.
"15-year-old prisoner, 15 years later, part 2.
Hello, this is a prepaid call from a prisoner at the Michigan Department of Corrections, Aldo Maximum Facility. To accept this call, press 0.
In the west side of Detroit today, a deadly shooting took place at a restaurant.
Bullets rang out today in Detroit, and families are devastated.
The suspect being charged is a 15-year-old boy. More than likely, he will be charged as an adult. The shooter's name is Eric Martin.
So what's up, man?
What's good with it?
Yeah, man, you ready for this 15-year-old prisoner 15 years later?
I think so, dude. I can do it.
Now, you think so or you know so, man?
I know I can do it.
Yeah?
Yeah. I can get this shit done complete. So make sure you do your job as an interviewer. That's what you can do.
Man, I got you, my dog.
Not saying that we, deserve getting some type of punishment for what we did, but the shit that they was doing is outrageous, man. They don't want to care, nobody stand up for nothing. A lot of us had public defenders. So it's crazy because as a child, rather aware or unaware, we look for some type of sympathy from adults that look like us. Our judge is black, was a black man, our prosecutor was a black woman, my lawyer was a black woman. If I'm mistaken, the stenographer, she was a black woman, she was a black woman as well. And it's crazy because they give me a time, they don't see me as like a child, nor just a member of the community. It was like kids versus adults. clearly we was at a disadvantage. So we did go to prison where we was being attacked psychologically from so many angles, from incompetent, protocol, and it was contradictory for real. We charged as adults, we're putting you for prisons for being forced to mimic adulthood, being treated like kids. Half of us were illiterate, but they expected us to comprehend laws and policies our own parents didn't or couldn't grasp at the time. And they had heighted as old as 25 in youth prisons, bullying kids 13 to 14, or taking the store items and preying on sex and shit like that. And when they did fight back, shit, against all this in-house oppression, they got punched by going to the hole. You're talking about a 14-year-old boy fighting a 24-year-old man. You know what I mean? And they still penalized us for that shit. Like, I mean, 14, what the fuck wants to do?
To take someone who's a child and put them in a cage, and for that amount of time is, it's not right, and we know that. Talked on the phone every now and then until I got to college, and when I got to college, I was finally able to go visit him, had my own car and everything, and got me on a visitor's list, and I visited him, and we had a long conversation, because we didn't really talk that much on the phone about what his mom talked about and how he found out he was my brother and I was his sister and stuff. But when we sat down, he just, told me, like, he believed what his mom said. If you're raised by your mom, you're going to believe everything your mom say, everything. So, he just believed her, never really took it serious that we were related. And when his mom finally told him, he was really hurt about it. And, that was emotional for him, emotional for me. But, we've grown close.
Hey, man, this right here for the kids, man. Prison, you don't want to come. It's just some bullshit. Niggas fighting over dumb shit. Niggas fucking with all type of stupid shit. Niggas getting raped. Niggas, getting stabbed in the face, head, all that type of shit. Police don't play for that, set you up. You trying to do the right thing, you consider it unpopular. The niggas who think to be tough out there is definitely getting played in here. People doing everything in here. There's not too many men in here. It's a lot of boys that pretend to be men. Quite frankly, it's frustrating, man. I thought I'd report that, man. You don't want to come here, man. You know what I mean? It's definitely violent in an ignorant sense. I've been in since I was 15. I'm just reporting. Not lying, but I'm reporting. You don't want to come here, man. You don't want to come here. If you're picking up playing with pistols, put them down, bitch. 20 to 30 is serious. Niggas losing their mind and it's mental breakdowns, trying to be tough, all type of stuff like that. You don't want to come through this. So right now, if you hear this, just take my word for it. 15 years of wisdom ahead. You don't want to come here, man. Women, you too. You don't want to come.
Fuck the system, man. I believe it's better ways we can handle, you know what I'm saying, people who do fucked up shit, or people who make a mistake, you know what I'm saying, or people who didn't know no better, or, you know what I'm saying, just a lost person, and, but fuck the system, in my opinion, man. Shit.
The prison is all bullshit. It's just meant to fuck you up. It's like, especially with, like, dealing with his situation, like, you get locked up at 15, then you only supposed to get out to you like 60 something. Yeah, that's crazy, because it's way bigger shit that's happened than that, where an adult will get a murder charge or some shit like that, and he get 10 to 15 years. Eric being a kid who not really knowing what's really going on more than what that adult did, and you get 40 some years. That's crazy.
A moment that also stood out to me in my experience with Eric when we were at Thumb Correctional Facility was when a judge from Wayne County came to speak to the population. His name is Bruce Morrow, and he was Eric's sentencing judge. That was 16 to 17 years ago, so I don't recall a lot of the conversation, but was impactful to me even to this very day was when Judge Morrow spoke directly to Eric and said that when he sentenced him, he didn't want to give him the amount of time that he sentenced him to, but he had no choice. This is a very poignant point, because to me, and what I hope that others can see, is the lack of discretion that Judge Morrow was able to use due to the legislation and him having to follow a statute. I don't want to lowlight any victims or their families or make it seem like people don't need to be held accountable for their actions. What I'm saying is that there are reasons as to why people commit crimes, especially as juveniles.
I believe most people receive adequate, not great, legal representation. I believe most judges believe themselves to be fair, though many fall short. These are the guarantees in the court system, people who are not perfect, trying to do their best. Some people get extreme mercy, some get justice, and some get screwed. Honorable Bruce Umaro.
My name is Raymond Curtis Carp, prison number 623369. I go by Kurt, and I met Eric in the juvenile joint. I want to say in 2008. We were in the juvenile joint together at Thumb Correctional Facility. Really, we just like the way each other move, so kind of gravitated toward each other. I think he's a caring guy, man. He always take time out to come to see how the guy's doing. You know what I'm saying?
Things I think when it comes to juvenile, they need to find a way to educate these children and different stuff about the law and what they really dealing with and what's going on for real, because it's no guidance. We just in there learning as we go. A lot of people is getting thrown away. A lot of our children and youth is getting thrown away because of lack of knowledge. I think one of the first solution is that we need to start learning these laws and these systems and teaching our youth that, because we going against systems and fighting systems that's just, we have no knowledge of. That's why prisons is more filled with youth, probably more than ever now.
I feel like the system is crap. I feel like it's definitely betted against our skin tone. It probably was built around keeping us down. I feel like my brother specifically was threw away. He was just given up on because the time that he got, it's just like, I don't know, it's just, you can't think that somebody would do that to a 14-year-old, you know, just someone who was a product of his environment at the time and couldn't help what was going on around him. He just could only follow and, you know, be strong in the way he was taught or the way he was shown. And when I think about the system and how they treat us and treat especially black men, it makes me extremely hot. It's a subject that I don't even like to talk about. Seeing all the killings of our people and knowing that I got a son and I got a husband, you know, and brothers, it's just scary.
Just doing me, man. I'm just doing me. I take my faith to God and discover some answers. I definitely was disqualified. Basically saying I figured it all out. I was definitely disqualified. I think that's what made me qualified to do this. You know, to speak for those, you know, who lost kind of the pistol out there. You know what I mean? Thinking that's all they got to offer. You know what I mean? Once you live your life, you know, your point of view change. You know what I mean? This guy's temple here. So I want you to touch mine, I ain't trying to touch yours. So I'm in prison for me. I would say it was surviving sin, surviving on my past sins. It was definitely self-harm. You know what I mean? I was depressed a lot, dropped a lot of tears. You know what I mean? And woke up and went back on the yard, confront what I had to confront. This from 15, 16, all the way, basically even now. But, you know, man, at the end of the day, so, yeah, prison ain't something you want to be at, least. Yeah. Fuck prison.
Like, nobody is really like in the streets no more, you know what I'm saying? Because we got that time to be able to grow and develop and change on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, little Eric, he ain't get that.
So, truth be told, even though the struggle was real when we first came down, my peers that endured it with me, they was even realer because we winked on each other, with simple street wisdom and just understanding. But we was in it together, you know what I mean? So we were all grouped up in juvenile detention facility. And they played us like rejected lifestyle for real. parents go to prison. It's crazy because we see kids get sentenced to life in prison, 20, 30, 40, you know what I mean? We should cross seeing that shit because nigga, we was just kicking away, was just laughing. Now you got life and shit like that. And we all were just up to get sentenced next. Some got 4, some got 5, a lot of them got 20 and 30 plus.
One of the things we was all doing, we all went to church. We all was going to church. Like, I remember we was going to church probably 30, 40 deep. Like, because we all was just trying to survive and, you know, stay focused and everything and just transitioning in general.
What most people don't know about Eric, from what I know personally about him and his charges, I don't see that from Eric. And he was just overall a great guy. But he understood his place and his position, and he was very mature and taking responsibility for what he have done.
Being a juvenile in an adult-based system is truly a huge disadvantage. We, those adults who are the caretakers in the system, know that young, less educated, the mentally challenged, the first-timers, the repeaters, everyone is highly disadvantaged in this system. Honorable Bruce Umaro.
My name is Chef Dominic McCord, born and raised in Detroit. I met Eric, we were about 16, we were both incarcerated. By the time I met Eric, he had already been in prison for about 1.5 to 2 years. So when I came down, I was new. My cousin as well, he showed us how to survive in prison. Really cool guy, never wanted nothing from us, just was a good person, you know. He really made an impact on me, he really helped me. I only had 3 years at that time. He had all day, you know, so never want nothing from us, but just, you know, friendship, and joked a lot and showed us how to do this thing called prison and helped us along the way. So after my 3 years, you know, we got back in touch, and it's so amazing that he's using his story as a vehicle to help others avoid prison. At the time, he was a vehicle to help others get through because he mentored a lot of the younger guys, and like I said, he helped us and he showed us how to do it. Just a good person, you know, overall good spirited person. He didn't become his environment, you know, he still was him. You know, he survived it, and he did what he had to do to get by, but he's just an overall good person. So really proud of Eric for his story and how he's sharing his story and how he's helping others through his tragedy and his triumph. Appreciate you, brother.
We always like fighting for our freedom a lot at the time. And when I was with Eric a lot, me and him was always like very close because we had a lot in common. We both was like two of the younger guys that was like beyond our age, and we was kind of leaders in our own world. And so doing time with Eric, it was great. We was always growing and reading and doing different stuff, even though we was kind of, you know, doing a little bit of the bad stuff too. But even if we was doing wrong or right, he never wanted to see his friends do wrong. So Eric was more like, he never gonna give you bad advice. He's never gonna not be supportive of you. He's first to sacrifice and different things of that nature.
Words, JC, Winston guys, you put your heart to fire.
We was like literally boys trying to deal with some serious shit, so we didn't really know how to manage emotions. We didn't know how to stop and think. We didn't know how to communicate. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't prepped for that as far as coming to prison. So we both learned like that as far as like through experience, sadly enough.
You know how I have you basically like reaching out to a lot of brothers and stuff like that throughout the system, because those are my brothers. We came in 15, 16, and we bonded. You know what I mean? So I said to say, you come to prison, your family will become strangers, bro, and strangers will become your family. And we can't disconnect because we know the full measure of what we're going through. So that's the beauty of that. That's one of the beauties of being in a struggle with somebody. The bond is solidified, and your family is like, who cares? We treat them like conservative. Like I gotta call and hope they ain't mad because I call 2 times in a day. You know what I mean? It's like, man, I hope they don't be mad at me. You know what I mean? Well, you can hit your mans up all day because we need that, because we emotionally deprived. You know what I mean? And we need some type of sense of some type of love, you know what I mean? But I can admit that, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the things about manhood as well, being honest with yourself, set the responsibility, just understanding that the the Lord loves you. I'm gonna speak about gangs. Not part of one. Never was interested in it. Never my thing. All this stuff is new to me. So when I heard Chris Buzz, GDs, I didn't understand none of that. I couldn't follow a dude that was less street than me than one. And two, most leadership skills these guys had when I first came out was poor, bro. You know what I mean? Coming out of Detroit, you know what I mean? I'm from the wood, you know what I mean? From Linwood, where it's just, you know, we NFL. We claim our hoods. You looking for brotherhood because you want to be protected. I just didn't trust multiple people in one section anyway. I just couldn't do it. But most of the brothers I grew up with, that became gang, that's still in prison. Of course, they're associated with it no more. You know what I mean? Because you can't produce good fruit out of street mentality like that. You can with the wisdom, the street wisdom they give you. Like you get, you know what I mean? The street wisdom you get, you can produce good fruit out the wisdom because you know, you survived. Do something most people ain't survived. Shoot, you learn the art of survival when you go through the streets.
It's Chopper Boy Ray Ray, man. I'm stepping in. Fuck with my dog, E Shooter. It's an honor to be a part of my dog documentary, you know what I'm saying? To meet him, to grow with him, you know what I'm saying? I met my dog probably like 2011. We was down in Thumbs together. Very knowledgeable young nigga, man. I'm telling you, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I used to thought my dog was like frail, you know what I'm saying? That nigga get up under that motherfucking weight pit, man. Put all that shit on there. You feel me? That boy was a very knowledgeable young dude. Like, it was real honor to meet my dog and carry on our relationship till I got up out of there, you know what I'm saying? And he just tap in with me every now and then. I tap in with him, let him know like we grew and became family through the times, you know what I'm saying? So just a real deal, like that nigga the real deal. He ain't none of that bullshit, fake shit, like niggas that talk behind your back and all that. He ain't with all that shit, you know what I'm saying? If he got a problem with you, he approaching the problem like a man, you know what I'm saying? That's what I respect about him, you know what I'm saying? And he was just very solid, still solid to this day. Every nigga that I know that ran across him, they have the same thing to say about him, you know what I'm saying? And we just waiting on him to come home, man. Shout out to my dog.
Where you can clearly get away with racism is in prison. In the correctional facilities, it's performed racism in here. Particularly for most of the lieutenants and the sergeants. And the captains. That's where the racism come from because they control the institution. And when I say it, and this ain't no shot at whoever gay, nothing like that, but they made me somewhat homophobic, bro, because they can take you to the hole. All it takes is one person to shake you down, and you look up as 10 people strip searching you, trying to see your dick. 10 of them, it only take one, you know what I mean? And it just made me homophobic, man. It feel like I was being violated. You could say because I'm in a joint, but don't take 10 white big ass dudes staring at you, bend over, squatting, coughing, all that type of shit like that. So, but they do that to dehumanize you. They do that to dehumanize you. They do that to remind you they got the power. But it's really a sick mentality. They take you to the hole, put you in there for no reason, just because your skin complexion may project suspicion. They stereotype you 24/7. It's constant. It's to the point now. That's one of the ways that I exercise how to control my emotions. Like I don't even let it bother me. It's still I don't let it affect me. Sometimes it still bothers me, but the racism is very, very strong, and they definitely show favoritism to the white inmates as well. You know what I mean?
The mess they trying to kill me out there, man. For the past shit I done did. I love y'all anyway, though. We popping off in here. Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna be the last one right here. We about to do something, so hopefully y'all see me tomorrow. Shit getting real on y'all. You hear me?
One time I went to the hospital after I got into a stabbing in prison and attempted to run. When I got out the van, so the officer told me, he said he would not shoot to kill me, which was shocking because I thought the white man would have took pleasure. That changed my racial perspective. So that would have been pointless if I ran. The last one was years ago, my most indelible attempt. The one I knew was it, the classic hanging. I cried the whole day because I knew this was it. I even called my mama. I don't even talk to mama like that. I even called her, and I rarely call her. Anyways, as I wrapped my neck with a leather belt, I started laughing to myself when I heard my childhood friends of mine that died teasing me in my mind. Marco saying, shooter, this how you about to go out. He died from a bullet. Jamil say, nigga, I know this ain't how you about to go out. Stop it. He died a drowning heart attack at 14. My dog Kenny, nigga, stop it. He died from a house fire rescuing someone. Marcus, don't do it, dummy. He died from a bullet not meant for him. And last but not least, Big E, my daddy. He said nothing, but I seen him and I felt him. I loosened the building and laughed at myself and went into my room and started writing on my pain, which birthed one of my books titled Suicide Relief. I concluded in the spiritual realm that the reason the enemy wanted me dead is because he knew my worth from day one. And to trick me to believe I was something insignificant, being is the first step into his snare. But God's power is stronger in his spirit, and me reigns victoriously, therefore I became. All praise to God.
One time we was on the phone, he really was talking about, you know, his faith and everything. And I never heard him talk like that before, so it kind of like, you know, threw me for a loop. But at the same time, we sat and talked about it for a while. So I understand that even though I don't share the same faith as him, that he believed in his faith.
The antidote to my street mentality was re-educating myself. All that pressure and adversity as a youthful offender kept me authentic because there was no luxury for wiggle room to be plastic or pretend to be someone I'm not. I simply couldn't afford it. But in hindsight, that pressure was healthy for the growth of my soul and spirit because it's not something sold on retail. It has to be purchased through experience. Not only did that pressure mature me, but it kept me true and honest to myself. And that's how I progressed. That pressure provided me with clarity to see my errors. And it actually made me appreciate the peace I got now. So for me, that's how I grew through that pressure. In other words, suffering. You know what I mean? That suffering I went through.
Most of the stories that we have was just regular guys who had a certain understanding where we made the best of our situation and we wasn't letting nothing bring that down. We wasn't letting nothing take our joy, nothing break our spirit, no matter how serious, no matter how vulnerable we felt, no matter who we lost in the world as far as people passing away, no matter what no matter what racism we experienced, no matter what we ate in the child hall today, we made the best of every situation. And Eric was always one of them guys who, like, you never just seen down. And what I remember most about him is just him always being uplifting. And you got it, bro. And, you know, he always willing to share anything that he had, any resources, you know. And just being always a loving brother. I'm going to call him a brother.
When my mom passed, you know, he was there for me. Him and my mom's birthday is actually like 3-4 days apart. And, you know, he was there for me and, you know, actually really helped me a lot. And I felt kind of weird because it's like you going through all of this and you still have this, still got this compassion and still have this, you know, strength to be there for me too, you know. And ever since, we just always kind of like lift each other up, you know. Even when we go down, we lift each other up, you know. Like we always speak words of encouragement to each other. And that's the way that we, you know, we always say this thing, God got us. And I really truly believe that.
First purpose of gaining the joint was right. After I learned the words, I felt like I had so much to offer, man, because I had so much to say. So I started writing my thoughts down. I started organizing my thoughts. I felt like I was in line with my purpose. So writing really was like therapeutic for me in so many aspects.
And I got my comrade E, man, true servant of the people. Man, utilizing all this time, resources, and this funds, man, just so he can put this documentary out. Man, so he can try to at least save one kid out there. And let him see him, man. Hey, man, he been putting work in, man. He ain't been in here, man, lacking. It's time to use, man. That's what it is, man. True hustler, true motivator. You know what I'm saying, man? He inspired the youth. That's what it is. It's a legend in the making.
He ended up sending me a JPay letter and telling me his book was coming out. I'm like, oh snap! Told me it was on Amazon. I'm like, hey, I gotta buy it. I gotta buy it. Just knowing and reading the book, I'm so proud of bro. Just to see where he was, just a silly, goofy kid to now mature adult. Then I never expected him to write a book though. That's crazy. But I'm so proud of him. I can't wait to see him.
I didn't know he had an interest in writing. Like, we talked a lot, but he never said, oh, I've been writing. But he told me, like, I think it was like almost done by the time he told me. And yeah, and then he got a lot now, like he just kept writing. And yeah, I mean, I'm happy for him in his journey. It's actually like working out for him. So
it's so difficult, man. It's so chaotic, and it definitely takes a certain type of focus to continue to write in the midst of all this bullshit, man. I had to stay focused, man. Hold up in the vein of the Lord, so you get that sea of peace around me to keep it going and actually iron in my concrete way of thinking of who I am. And so I realized I can do any and everything. From, like I said in the beginning, reading the Bible, reading the dictionary, learn how to articulate myself more with that. I want to put that in paper, start fixing a lot of certain stories, and I realized that's my purpose, right? Read, shit like that. So I definitely thank the Lord for my comprehension. So if you're going to be the right, do it, B. You know what I mean? Because you're actually a voice for somebody that can speak for themselves. That is rapping, R&B, talking to the people, commentating for people, whatever it be. Hold that in. It's needed out there. They definitely played a part.
Well, I just want to say that I am extremely proud of my brother. I don't know anybody even on the outside that's doing what he's doing in prison, writing multiple books and a documentary. Hello.
When I first heard about Eric's book, I was just thinking, Eric again. Here go Eric again. But that's Eric for us, He's always unexpected. He always trying to do something and accomplish something. But I was proud of him. I was very happy about him and him publishing his book and then accomplishing that, because actually that was something I always thought about doing, but I really didn't know how to do it or how to go about it. But that's Eric for you. When he put his mind to something, he going to accomplish it. He's going to do what he has to do to accomplish it. He going to work hard daily. And when he published his book, I was proud of him, and I think it's going to be great, and I think it helps some people, and I'm glad he was able to share insight. And I'm even glad that he's sharing his story and trying to make a difference. But when he did his book, I was pretty shocked that he got it done. Not shocked that he had the idea, but just getting it done. But I was happy for him, man. I'm definitely still happy for him, man. I just noticed the beginning, and every time he called me, he got a new idea, and not just a new idea, he making progress on everything. Like, I'm proud of him. I don't know what he doing and how he doing it, but God's putting the right people in his life, and that it's working. And I'm happy for everything you all got going and what he doing and everybody who's supporting him. And it's going to be a blessing.
See, my 15-year-old book, Michigan won't even let it in, B. They're so in-top aggressive. They won't let the 15-year-old prisoner book in for me to help people. So that'd be cool if I get that approved. It's just speaking about God and my journey. I'm not shooting down the police and no shit like that. I'm not doing none of that. I'm just trying to help, but they putting up guardrails, like they always do. So that'd be cool if we can get those approved in Michigan prison too. Probably start some classes behind it, something like that.
I believe if the MDLC modeled their facilities as college, university, job sites, things in that nature, and took a stronger approach to, counseling and therapy and family reunification and things in that nature, then when people get out, they will be able to be productive members of society, and it'll actually change the way that people are able to think in their behaviors, rather than just putting them in an environment where they sit around and do nothing and wait to be released. So even when he put us in a position to rehabilitate us, even in a situation wasn't even programmed to rehabilitate us, man, we actually had to make a personal choice to change. All this shit was just wrong. So despite my neighborhood reputation, I couldn't see a homeless man getting jumped by some random niggas or a prostitute for that matter. So I always just there to try to protect that. You know what I mean? So when I see this shit happening, you know what I mean, as I got a little older on the youth side and shit, see these old niggas boys, niggas shot stepped in. Shit, you know what I mean? I stepped in, I got involved. And when I got involved, shit, I got involved, shit slowed down, shit basically stopped. It's crazy because in that moment I realized it was simple. It was a simple solution. Recognize a traumatic making problem and prevent it by thinking of a real solution. And that's adults' responsibility to our children. It wasn't even adults, bro. We as children got to find that shit ourselves. So the system didn't have no concern from it. Some of our parents didn't have no concern as well. Truthfully, you know what I mean? I think if we had some type of care concern for our children, or just humanity in general, I think the solution would be naturally cultivated or generated.
Doing clinical rotations, and I went to the we had to do it like at the mental hospital, and to me that's kind of like the prison. And it's just going in there and just seeing like these people locked up in these rooms and stuff like that, and it can't come out, and this, that, and the third. And it's just like it chills down my spine. What resources are you providing for these people? Because some people actually are mentally not stable and don't even need to be in prison. They need to be, you know, to see a psychiatrist, have someone to talk to, a therapist, have someone to work through what trauma that brought them there. Because why do you think that when people get out of prison, they go right back? Because you didn't get rehabilitated from anything. Because if you go to a rehab center for drugs or alcohol or whatever, you'll come out with 12 steps of what to do and how to do this and how to do that and how to do that. Prison doesn't do anything. If anything, it puts you in a place where you're in, I like to look at it like you could be put in with a bunch of like wolves, you know, or in a lion's den. And you literally have every day, you have to fight every day for your sanity, for your mind and your dignity every day. And that does more damage than it does good.
I agree that your sentence is mind-blowing. I would also, however, offer for your consideration that the crime you committed would be considered mind-blowing. Honorable Bruce Umaro.
Few things that helped me actually grow, man. One of the processes that helped me grow is definitely finding out or eliminating what I'm not. You know what I mean? Once I started eliminating what I'm not, what was left was me. You know what I mean? So that's part of the process of joining yourself before you join anybody else. So that's what I was doing. That's what I did. So with that, I came to a conclusion, like I was just setting myself up in one word, what would it be? You know what I mean? Is it a boss? Is it a shooter? Is it this? Is that? My answer was a servant. You know what I mean? You know, with a leader, the ultimate thing for a leader is to serve his people. You know what I mean? I had grown up in my position, man. I had to understand I was responsible for people. I flew in certain niggas to self-destruct. You know what I mean? And I'm here to restore, fell in love with the Creator, and He helped me fall in love and support me. You know what I mean? That's damn save my brothers, man. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely a follower of Christ. Ain't no blood, ain't no crib, no deal, no G's, none of that. But I'm a servant to the people, man. That's who I am. That's who I grew up to be. You know what I mean? So definitely let you know that process, man. I joined myself before I joined anything. I'm joining us now. Today was a hectic day, man. Prison bullshit. For the kids in middle school, get your grades up, man. Get your grades up. Also, okay. Maybe next clip.
You just gonna be in this bitch, nigga. Oh. Then I'm gonna put it on two, so nigga, when you do grow your ass up, you're like, I want part 2, yeah, he did this for me. You gonna figure this shit out later on in life. All right, there you go. Catch my nigga smile. He handsome, nigga. Man. It's my man's right here. It's my man's.
You see this in 15 years, bro.
Oh, you about to see this as you go in, you gonna get a phone. They got YouTube and that bitch too.
Man, that shit crazy.
Good, baby. That bitch blew up, big.
I'm at the, who are you?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, when I come out, you can decide. I don't really know.